Hello guys, this is a new video here. This is Revenge X, and I hope you guys like this. As you can see by the title, we'll be doing Sasuke versus Neji and how I see this fight going. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you do enjoy, leave a like, put your notifications on so you'll be able to see when I post a new video. And you don't have to, but I would appreciate it if you did those things as well as subscribe. Well, other than that, as we'll first talk about basically how Sasuke and Neji, how like their fight or like a fight in the future was kind of teased when they both, had a like how they had a conversation, and they were kind of, I guess you could say, talking crap and taking shots against each other. Not really, but you can basically, and like how the Hyugas were mentioned, how the, Byakugan is supposed to be stronger than the Sharingan and things like that, but I don't agree with that statement. But anyways, and as fans wanted to see this fight, but we did not end up seeing this, as we already know that Neji destroys Sasuke in the beginning of the Chunin exams. As you can kind of have a little conversation, like a little debate with curse mark Sasuke, when he just got the curse mark when he broke Zaku's arms. As you can have a little debate with that, as that's what I'll be talking about first, about, to show the difference between Sasuke and Neji's power at, this point of the story. As this Sasuke, when he got the curse mark, was basically, as from even Sasuke's words, and you were able to tell that Sasuke was way much stronger than he was when he had just fought Orochimaru, as from the amp that the curse mark gives you, and this, as we saw, from the speed and strength that amp that Sasuke got. But when we see Neji's reaction in the manga and the anime, you can kind of tell that Neji, it's like he was like surprised, I guess you'd say, that Sasuke was that strong from when the last time he saw him. But he didn't look worried or anything, like if he was like inferior to Sasuke's power. As in my opinion, if these two had fought, we would basically see where they would be kind of like stalemating at first, but when Neji was actually going in and trying to block his chakra points, Neji would actually be able to do this because Sasuke's, I guess you could say, taijutsu level, or basically just hand-to-hand combat type of level, is not on the level of Neji's basically gentle fist, which I feel like Sasuke's curse mark, in that if they ended up fighting, would have ended up draining him, and when the curse mark had turned off, that amp that he had got would basically go into his downfall, since his amp is the only reason why he'll be able to try to barely hold his own against Neji. And when that amp goes off, Neji will clearly take the win. As I feel like Neji wouldn't have that big of a difficulty. I feel like even if Sasuke was able to hold the curse mark for longer, Neji would still be able to basically take the win. So moving on to the month time skip, so we can go later on to the main event. As we see during this time, Sasuke gets way stronger than this version of himself, which is actually the fight that I've been wanting to talk about. This fight, as if this fight happened in the Chunin exams, it would have been a sick fight, but for story purposes, I still liked the way that they did it. But, since at that point Sasuke was basically had copied Lee's speed, as well as Neji, seeing him Hyuga versus Uchiha, it would just been a great fight. And as we see during the month time skip, that when they show Neji, they see that Neji was basically just training with his Byakugan and basically the stuff that he had already knows. But we see Sasuke taking a big kind of amp in this month time skip, as he had trained with Kakashi, and he didn't have the full time that everybody else did because he was hospitalized, I believe so, or if I'm not, correct me, but basically, yeah, I can believe so. And that where Sasuke gets the speed of weightless Lee, as well as he's able to use the Chidori. as we see that Sasuke is way faster when he fights Gaara and things like that. And we see in Neji's fight when he fought Naruto that clearly Neji was more say kind of toying with Naruto, like towards, like throughout almost the whole fight, because basically bro saw Naruto as a weakling compared to him, and Neji as that, I guess you could say his philosophy makes him that way, of his whole fate stuff. So in character, if these two ended up, let's just say, fighting each other, I would see how the battle would go with Sasuke, what he had learned, and Neji and his skill. As you know, you'll be able to see my, I guess you would say, way of how I think that Neji will be able to react to Sasuke's speed. And in that fact, how I think is that where Neji's speed scales to is that we don't see Neji moving around like bait, like we don't see him moving like at no speeds like Weightless Lee or anything past that, but I believe he does scale to like around base Lee speed. So I feel like he will scale around that against Sasuke. And I'll say, as going off of them in character, when the fight starts, Sasuke would not have his Sharingan activated, while Neji did have his Byakugan activated. When the fight had started, you would basically see as that Sasuke showing off his new speed by, showing off his hand-to-hand combat skills against Neji by basically hitting Neji and showing multiple blows against him. But then when Sasuke would go in for like extra combos, you would see Neji reacting with his gentle fist and basically creating distance between them, and then Neji would go in for his own attacks. As I basically see at this point that it'll be a stalemate between the two. But you would see Sasuke using his fire techniques, or aka Fireball or Phoenix Flower, jutsus at this level to basically get Neji, to get distance between them and give Sasuke time to blitz Neji. But I feel like once Neji had really saw how Sasuke's his movements are, aka adapting to the battle and adapting to Sasuke's style, when Sasuke came in with a new set of combos, you would see Neji actually blocking a couple of his chakra points, which Sasuke, not like Naruto, doesn't have the nine tails to basically fix that, but I would say that he wouldn't block all of them. He would just block a couple few, since Sasuke with his speed would be able to, I guess you would say, get out the way. But then you would see where Sasuke had started to take the battles more seriously, and he would have activated his Sharingan. My bad for the choice of words that I used. And when you would see Sasuke using his Sharingan, you would end up seeing where him and Neji had started to go back at it. But Neji would only be able to close a few of his chakra points because Sasuke, now with his reaction time of the Tutomoe Sharingan, being able to dodge those strikes from Neji, since the Sharingan gives you basically like foresight, seeing things a couple of seconds before they actually do happen. With Sasuke's speed, you'll be able to see him be able to react to that. And I'll say that Neji was, though effective, able to get around 32 of Sasuke's chakra points blocked, meaning that Sasuke would basically would be hard for him to use his chakra, or more like it took more, I guess you could say, force to use his chakra. And as we see that with the Hyuga blows, that getting some of your chakra points blocked, it can help you, or not help you, help the Hyugas by you're not able to use your hands, or like your shoulder is stuck or things like that. But Sasuke wanting to win this match, as there's other things that you can say like, oh, Sasuke could use Genjutsu, but Sasuke in character would not use Genjutsu, because in part 1 we've never seen him use Genjutsu until Shippuden. So that's why I haven't mentioned anything like that. And I'll say that Neji took this to his advantage, but Sasuke, after we would see basically Neji kind of toying with Sasuke And when he finally went in with a gentle fist trying to block all of Sasuke's chakra points, you would actually see Sasuke where Sasuke had hit Neji with the Lion's Barrage. As when Sasuke had hit Neji with the Lion's Barrage, Neji was shocked as it was similar to Lee's technique, and it gave him, as Neji got to remember, was Sasuke had used that against that other ninja in the preliminaries, where then he is successfully affected, but as Sasuke thought that Neji was knocked out, it seemed that Neji was still not knocked out, and Neji had reactivated his Byakugan, where Neji was speak about how it's his fate to win, and talking about how Sasuke, like his clan, it's his fate to basically just have losing this match. And basically he had compared the Hyuga to the Uchiha, saying that the Hyuga they're too strong to get taken down by just one member of them, referencing to how the Uchiha had got taken, aka massacred by Itachi. And you already know Sasuke in this time would not have taken that lightly. So as Sasuke, this would have been enough to force him to take this match, where you would see him reactivating his Tsutomu Sharingan and getting ready for this battle, as Sasuke would charge up a Chidori. Charging up a Chidori, moving at speeds faster than he was before. But since some of his chakra points are blocked, the Chidori isn't going to be at full capacity if he used it earlier when he was at full, capacity, able to use all of his chakra points. I mean, not chakra points, but all of his chakra. You get what I'm saying? As Neji had did the rotation technique that is famously seeing him do, and we would see the Chidori in rotation blast. And since the Chidori is not at its full capacity power, what I would say that happened is that the Chidori would not pierce through the rotation, but what happened was that it did counteract the blow of the rotation, sending them both flying back. And when this had happened, Sasuke had used up a decent amount of his chakra, since we know that Sasuke can only use one Chidori. Where then it seems like to everybody that Neji had just took this match, but where we would see Neji going up and Sasuke basically making himself getting up. Neji speaking about his philosophy of fate, and Sasuke had just say, while you think of that, you would see Sasuke with marks over himself, and he had said fire style, fire dragon flame jutsu, as the dragon flame jutsu that we've seen him do against Orochimaru, as he did that against Neji, but with no ninja wires. So this time it was just a straight stream, as this guy had Neji caught off guard. And when he had did that, we would see a giant shuriken that had came through the flame, that Sasuke had actually had ninja wire with one, basically with one of his fingers, as this giant shuriken was basically the same one that he had used against Zabuza. And this one had came at Neji, so Neji, what he did, he had to deflect something, so he had just used his rotation, as the flames had made smoke, while the rotation had made the giant shuriken caught off balance and basically just hitting the ground. But it gave time, as Sasuke, knowing that he can't hold this form for longer, running at full speed with the Chidori. As then we would see Neji running, as that's when Neji had channeled all the chakra that he had getting ready, as then saying that technique is unhittable, or that it's not going to work against him because it's his fate to lose, as he had turned 360 as he got mid-range with the rotation when Sasuke had collided. When Sasuke, as the last words that we would hear him say was that as Neji was trying to make out his words, but it was too late, as the Chidori that Neji thought was going to basically just counter out each other, and this time knocking out Sasuke from how fatigued he was from the fatigue of the last blast. It didn't, as Sasuke had cut through the rotation, actually successfully slashing Neji with the Chidori and basically getting this blow off and getting him the win. As how I see is why I see this is because from the power of the curse mark able to amp the Chidori, even though Sasuke is fatigued, we know that the curse mark provides that amp with a time limit by feeding off Sasuke's chakra. And Sasuke would be able to force the Chidori out and have basically getting this win. As this is how I see if the fight kind of went, how it will kind of go. With Sasuke able to take the win, but with a cost, not like he just, took the win and Neji just got pulverized, but he didn't. It was a basically equal battle. So tell me if you guys kind of like that way of how I did it, as I'm basically saying how I thought, who would win the fight, but I'm basically going through how I think the fight would happen in character, as well as I know I could have used a little bit more stuff of like how, like, my bad for the background noise, but basically like how, like, I could have used a little more like analytics of like stating what the gentle fist could do and things like that. But as I know, if you're jumping into this video, you know a basic of that, and I know since this is my first video, you guys could comment and be like, hey, you did this wrong or did that. I'm just trying to get better, and hopefully you guys like the way I did it. And I think really at those two characters at that point of time that Sasuke would have been able to get the win. But anyways, my next video will be What If Naruto's Senju Part 2. So if you guys would like to see that or haven't seen that, go check that out now. But anyways, this is Revenge X. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm signing out. Peace.